Hi, my name is Mustafa, and this is
My name is Alam.
we were asked to create an assignment. We had to create five balls that will bounce around in a window, and we start off with our analysis.
Okay, so our task was to input loops and functions to create a window with five balls bouncing inside it. The output would be sent to the screen and would contain basically the balls moving around in a random fashion. One of the problems we ran into was making the list for the balls. We didn't know how to do that using a loop. We solved this problem by looking at the documentation in Zybooks as well as on Python, python.com. From there, we learned how to append the turtle object with the additional circles. The next step was the design.
All right, so our design for our code, we had multiple steps. For our first step was we had to import turtle and import random, and then our next one was to create a window. After we created the window, we had to create a turtle object for step three. Afterwards, we had to create a for loop for the ball so that we could have five of them. Afterwards, we created the window, the walls of the window, so that when the ball reaches the side of the window, it would bounce back and go in another direction. And for our final step, we had to make the balls go forward. And if we had to add another statement so that if it was at the window wall, it would go backwards so that it would stay inside the window. So I'm gonna describe our coding real quick. So we started off with name, date, and assignment description. Afterwards, we had to import turtle and then import random for line 6 and line 7. Afterwards, we made a space. We created our window with the turtle screen. Our window's name was WIN, which is short for window. Window tracer so that it moves a little quicker. The reason why we added tracer was that without the tracer, it moved very slow, and it's hard to watch. We set the window screen size to 500 by 500, and we set the world coordinates to 250 positive and negative, which is like absolute value for 250. And then our title was ball bounce, so that the window's name would be balls bounce. Afterwards, I created a function which is define function, create turtle, which was the name of the function. Our turtle object was RB, so we created a turtle object on line 17, and then the shape, which is a circle, and the color, which is red. And afterwards, we had to use pen up so that it doesn't leave a line in the window when it moves. And we set the heading direction to be a random point between 0 and 360 degrees. And we return, which is the end of the function. Afterwards, we had to create the balls list and create the for loops of 4. I in range of 5. It's going to be ball, append, create turtle, which is this function we made out here. So it's going to bring that function here, and it's going to run it 5 times, which is going to create 5 different circles. 5 circles, not different. They're going to be the same. Afterwards, we had to define another function, and this one was a turtle bounce, so that it go to the end to the wall and bounce back. Found the X and Y position and the width and height for the get screen and screen size for the turtle object. So right here we made an if statement. So if X is less than width divided by 2, or X is greater than width divided by 2, or Y is greater than height, or Y is less than height divided by 2, it's gonna return true. And if it's none of that, it's gonna return false, so that it works out well. And for what we had a while true statement to make the ball move forward. So for balls, the ball moves forward by 5 pixels, and we find the ball position again, which is ball dot position. And we made an if statement. So if turtle bounce, we bring up this function, so that function right here. So when it bounces on the wall, it's gonna come back and move backwards by 5 position. We set the headings to 360 again. So here's all our ball runs. And that is all.
Okay, thank you.